welcome. Hello, everyone. I'm excited today because today I'm going to share with you how my client booked her first $3,600 client in less than 48 hours. Hi, my name is Jasmine Womack. I'm a wife, a mother, I'm a woman of God, and I am a trendsetter. I help authors, speakers, and coaches stand out as subject matter authorities on their topic and in their industry. And I do this by helping them to write and self-publish a best-selling book, and then I teach them how to turn their book into programs, courses, and premium price coaching communities. All right, I'm going to be sharing with you some behind the scenes of some strategies that my client implemented to book her first $3,600 client in less than 48 hours. So, if you are new to me, I want to welcome you. My name is Jasmine Womack. You can find me at author Jasmine Womack or the Jasmine Womack across platforms. And I specialize in working with leaders and emerging coaches to help them write a best selling book and leverage their books into premium price online coaching programs. So, if you want to write a book to actually grow your brand, improve and increase and enhance your thought leadership, and bring more credibility to your name and into your industry, then I'm the person to help you do that. I'm absolutely the best in the field, and it doesn't take all day to write a highly impactful and profitable book. Okay. And here's the thing, once you write the book and you want to turn the book into multiple streams of revenue through online coaching and consulting, then me and my team can help you do that as well. Again, we are the absolute best in the industry at what we do. And I'm so excited to be here with you today. But I wanted to make sure that I came to share this information with you. Make sure that you have pen and paper. You begin implementing some of these strategies, it could totally change your life. Okay. So, how my client booked her first $3,600 client in less than 48 hours. So let me share with you last week. I was very busy. I flew down to Miami where I was a featured panelist at the Black Equity Con, which is a conference where there were over 3,000 attendees there. And so I flew down on Wednesday, spoke twice on Thursday, flew back Thursday night, and then Friday and Saturday, we were facilitating and hosting our mastermind retreats for our high level mastermind students. And on this retreat, we were specifically helping them to dial in on their coaching programs, on their curriculums, and making sure that not only were our clients selling ethical programs, but they were also selling them in a way that would be efficient and profitable to them in their businesses. She was able to make immediate adjustments and go and book her client by Monday, literally less than 48 hours. So I'm going to share with you some things that she did. And my client, she is a trichologist. So she has an actual clinic where she works with women who may had, like some type of chemical imbalances and were experiencing hair loss. And so she helps them to regrow their hair by changing their lifestyle, by changing their diet, and by dialing in on some other things that she knows a lot more about, right? But that's what she did. She had an offline business and she really was trying to build online. The other thing about it is that she had a book that she published, but she wasn't really able to leverage it or monetize it, which is how she began working with me and the Impact team. All right, so I'm going to share with you some things that she implemented to book her first $3,600 client in less than 48 hours. So number one is that she stopped overthinking. Like, she already had been doing the work for quite some time and had a lot of experience with working with clients in her offline business. But because she was bringing it online and because she had multiple offers, she was honestly kind of overthinking the process about what it was going to take to sell multiple offers that she may have had. She was overthinking, the pricing. She was overthinking what to sell, when to sell it. It was really forcing her into some creative blocks, right? But once she really got clear, and one of the things I told her, and we're going to talk about this a little bit later, but one of the things I told her is I said, just because people are asking you for things doesn't mean that you have to sell it, especially if it's not what you want to sell, and especially if it's not in alignment with the goals that you want to accomplish, in the future. So that was really able to help her get rid of a lot of the brain fog and the brain clutter and really focus in on the things that she wanted and needed to do for herself. And she realized that she was really discounting herself and discrediting herself when she already had everything she needed to accelerate, to excel, and to move forward. So here's the thing that I want to share with you: no one is served by you being stuck in your head. Okay. No one is served by you thinking and ruminating about things over and over and over and over again. It does not take years to make quantum leaps. It doesn't. It does not take years for you to experience gains. It does not take years for you to make progress. It just does not. All it takes is the right mindset, the right strategy, and for you to move forward to implement and execute, and for you to also shift your belief that you can get immediate results in a very short period of time. It's not going to take, it should not take you an entire year to figure out what you want to write about, to outline your book, and to write it. It should not take you an entire year to understand and get clear on what your coaching program is going to be about, put it together and sell it. Nobody is served by you being stuck in your head and by you overthinking the same things over and over and over again. Now, clients who work with me, clients who are called to work with me, you're movers and shakers. You're world shifters, right? That means that you are willing and you are ready to show up big so that you can make big transformations in the lives of your clients and also in your own life, right? So this means that you have to put a stop to the overthinking. And oftentimes, overthinking is a simple decision. You can decide not to be an overthinker. And do you know how you make that decision? You make that decision by taking immediate, imperfect action. Oftentimes, moving into action is what will bring the clarity. Oftentimes, moving into action will help you to see what else you need to do and how it can be done. Have you ever heard the saying, like, I think, I can't even say have you ever heard the saying. Like, there was a saying that I used to hear when I was little. Like, the journey of 1,000 steps begins with a single step. It's not about going from 0 to 1,000 overnight. It's about taking one step at a time. It's about making progress one step at a time. Even you don't, that means that you don't need to know what step 5 looks like. You don't need to know what step 10 looks like. You don't need to know what step 100 looks like. You need to simply take the first step. After you take the first step, take the second step. Many of us are stuck in our heads and are overthinking because you're trying to look at the entire picture and you're trying to accomplish everything without first accomplishing one thing. And you have to first accomplish one thing. It is a series of steps that will take you along the journey. You don't just close your eyes and arrive at your destination because you wish to be there. This is not a genie in a bottle type of situation. It is literally one step, one day, one action at a time. So she stopped overthinking. Number 2, she created her curriculum and learned how to confidently articulate it. Now, some of us are trying to sell things, and in order to effectively and confidently sell it, you need to understand what you are selling. For example, in the online space, there's a difference between a course and a coaching program. If you don't understand the difference in language, and if you don't understand the difference between a course and a coaching program, you may literally be sitting up trying to sell something for at a price that you shouldn't be selling it for, or trying to incorporate or leave out things that shouldn't be. Let me know if this makes sense. So first, let's talk about a course versus a coaching program. Oftentimes, a course is self-study. It will be somewhat brief, like maybe 4 modules, maybe 6 modules, something that you can go through on your own to accomplish one goal at the end by the time you are done going through the content. Okay. That's normally a course. Many self-study courses, particularly like depending on who you purchase them from, will generally be $1,500 or less. Okay. Coaching programs, on the other hand, involve accountability. It involves some level of implementation. And usually coaching programs will be, they don't even have to be long. They don't have to be 6 months or 12 months. Yes, you can have a 4 week or a 6 week or an 8 week or even an 8 week or 12 week coaching program. But the main difference the main element that differentiates courses between coaching programs is the coaching program is what gives access to you. The coaching program is what comes with additional support. It's going to have those extensive resources, those toolkits, those worksheets. They'll be able to ask question and answer. There might be, some form of accountability, submission, so on and so forth. So, of course, because they get access to you, because the client has more support, more resources that they're given to their to actually accomplish the goal, then it'll be offered at a higher price point than a self-study course that you do on your own. Let me know if this makes sense. So if you're trying to sell an entire coaching program where someone meets with you once a week, they get X amount of they get X amount of resources, they get access to your Rolodex, to your personal resources, right? And you're trying to sell it for $500, it's like you're doing too much. Or you're trying to sell it for half off, you're doing too much. Like there's nothing that anybody could ever do to make me discount my time, my experience, and my expertise. And it doesn't take a long time, all right? So she created her curriculum and she learned how to confidently articulate it and sell it. All right. So she created a coaching program and not a course. And it was curriculum based. A lot of people these days create courses where they're just kind of talking off of the top of their head. They're not giving any additional resources. I'm pretty sure that you probably bought some. The marketing sounded great, but once you got it, it was just a whole bunch of videos, no type of resources, and that was it. And they weren't even giving you the details or step by step of what to do. However, a curriculum-based coaching program does take a little bit longer to develop and it's more involved. Okay. You're not just sitting there telling the what, you're teaching the how. You're again providing accountability. You're again providing resources. You're providing toolkits and providing guidance along the way. Curriculum based means that it is based on your personal experience or expertise, and there's a framework for it. Like you have a framework that you've used, or you have actually taken the steps that you have used to get results, and you've packaged it inside of a method called a framework. So this means that this framework, there's a core number of steps that someone would take in order to get a result. From A, B, C, and D, you get to this result. And when you create a curriculum-based coaching program and you teach from it, you can't teach it from theory. This is not based on what you think. This is based on what you know and what you have been able to successfully do in your life or in your business. This way, you're actually taking what you know, you're packaging it into a sequential, documented process, and now you're teaching it to someone else so they can get either the same or similar results. Let me know if this makes sense. Coaching programs most definitely need to be curriculum based because a coaching program is giving more access, more resources, and should be sold at a premium price. All right. So she created her curriculum and she learned how to confidently articulate it. So the third step that my client took is that she reached out to low hanging fruit. Low hanging fruit is a term that we give to clients that have shown interest in working with you. Maybe they've been commenting on all of your posts. Maybe they've reached out directly and said, hey, this is what I'm trying to do. These are my goals. Do you have anything that can help me? Okay. So she reached out to low hanging fruit. So she had been doing the work for quite some time. And so she had some clients. Well, she had some former clients that were interested in working with her again. But when they initially reached out, she didn't have anything at the time to offer them. And because of working with me, I was like, listen, we're not just going to offer people something just because they ask and it's not in alignment with where you want to go. So anything that you want to offer needs to be aligned to your 6 month, your 12 month, your 3 year goals, like where you see yourself in the future. You don't just go and create something because somebody's asking for it. They're the only person asking for it, and there's not really a market for it. Okay. So she reached out to low hanging fruit. These were people that she had already worked with. These were some previous clients that expressed interest in continuing to work with her or in working with her again. Now, one thing that I share with my clients is always easier to continue working with clients that you've worked with previously because the relationship is there, because they've gotten results. It's easier to work with someone that you've worked with previously than it is to go get a new client. Because when you have a new client, then there's something called a sales process that the prospect has to actually go through. Someone purchases your book, right? Then they may hear you speak. Then they tune into a few live streams, and then they'll book a call with you. That process alone may take several months. It may take anywhere from 3 to 6 months, just depending on how they came into your ecosystem, right? So instead of trying to go get a brand new client and nurture that process, she reached out to someone that she had already been that she had worked with previously that expressed interest in working with her again. And when she reached out to them, she extended them an offer with a deadline, meaning that she didn't just tell them what she had, she gave them some documentation to review and said, hey, this is what I can help you with. This is the deadline to enroll by. And there's some other sales strategies in there that she implemented that I won't share because I do share that with paying clients. But she extended an offer with the deadline. You got to understand that there's a difference between creating versus selling. Like just because you create the course or the coaching program does not necessarily mean that someone is going to purchase. You have to know how to sell. This is whether it comes to your book, your courses, your coaching programs, those of you all who are speaking. It's the difference between creating and selling. If you create it, you got to know how to sell it. And you have to make sure that there's a market that wants to buy. So extending the offer and putting a deadline on the offer actually pushed the sale forward, because when you put a deadline on your offer, it's going to help people make a decision. A lot of times people can know exactly what they want, they can know exactly what they need, but they will take forever and a day to make a decision because of fear, because of all the what ifs that are going on in their minds, because of things that their friends who have never written books or built businesses are saying. And so the purpose of the deadline is to help your client come to a decision and make a decision about their future. Now, one of the things that we do in the Impact Group and the Impact University, we don't beg. We're not going to sit here and try to beg you and convince you. It's like you're here because you know that you need the help. And something that I've shared has let you know that I'm the person to help you. Now you have to bet on yourself, and you have to make the commitment to help yourself by partnering with me to help you, accomplish your goal. That's what it is. So she extended an offer with the deadline. And once she extended the offer with the deadline, her client immediately put down a 50% deposit, not a $200 deposit, a 50% deposit. So this happened literally in less than 48 hours. She literally made some immediate shifts to her mindset. She made some immediate shifts to her coaching curriculum, and she made some immediate shifts to her sales processes, which helped her to close the sale within less than 48 hours. And I can't be, more proud of her. Like I'm so proud of her. And I'm like, I know like this is just the beginning, because when you can get one, you can get 100. When you can get one, you can get 10. When you get one, you can get 100. Like I told her, I said, you can never go back to where you were before. And you can never go back to anything less than 3,600. This is your starting point. And that's how it works. And that's how you actually begin building and growing and scaling your coaching business. Okay. The last thing that I want to share that she did was that she got coaching, right? She invested in herself on a high level. It's not cheap to work with me and a team. So she invested in herself on a high level, and she traveled. Some of us, some people who may be watching or watching the replay, honestly, One part of the reason you're still stuck is because you're not willing to move. You're waiting on everything to come to you instead of you taking the initiative to go out and get what you need. You're waiting on everything to come to you and to fit within your current atmosphere and to fit within your current lifestyle instead of you stretching yourself and making some adjustments and going after what you need. You cannot create something new. You cannot create a new life if you're only willing to stay in the same space, literally and figuratively. So, yes, for some of you, it's going to require that you get into some new environments. For some of you, it's going to require that you get under some mentorship or under some coaching, quality coaching. It's going to require that you use your discernment to choose a quality coach, not selecting a coach based on followers or bags or fashion or vanity metrics, but using your discernment, doing your research, and selecting a coach that can help you grow in the areas that you desire to grow in. She also raised her hand and asked for help. Like I will be totally honest. I cannot for the life of me understand anyone who invests in coaching, who invests in, getting the help that they need, but then they don't even raise their hand to ask for the help that they need because they're so concerned about what other people are going to think about them. Like other people are not paying your invoice. Other people are not paying your invoice. Other people are not doing the work for you. Other people are not growing your business. Like, especially if you're making the investment, raise your hand and ask for help. Get the help that you've been looking for. Get the help that you've been searching for. And then she implements it. You can't just go into a room. You can, but you won't get anywhere. But you can't just go into a room and literally leave out the same way you came in because you do absolutely nothing. You don't put anything that you've learned into action. She took immediate action, and because she took immediate action, imperfect action, she booked a $3,600 client, and she can never return back to where she was. She can never charge less than $3,600 again, not for that program. Okay, so those are the 5 things that my client did to book her first $3,600 client in less than 48 hours. I'm going to give a recap. Number 1, she stopped overthinking. Number 2, she created her curriculum and she learned how to confidently articulate it and sell it. Number 3, she reached out to low-hanging fruit. Number 4, she extended an offer with a deadline. And number 5, she got coaching. All right, she actually got onto a plane and she traveled and got in person, and then she implemented what she learned.